Simplifying radical expressions using the laws of radical. Given is square root of 24. 24 is not a perfect square, but we can at least simplify this by thinking that a factor of 24, which is perfect square. In this case, it's 4. 4 is a perfect square, which has a square root of 2. So the factor of 24 is 4 times 6. Applying the law of radical number 2. And that the expanding then. So we will expand it by 4, square root of 4 times square root of 6. Then simplify the square root of 4. And that is positive 2. Then write down the square root of 6. And our answer is gonna be 2 times square root of 6. For our given number 2, cube root of negative 64x to the 5th power. Since 24 is a perfect cube, we have no problem with the numerical coefficient. We're going to work on x raised to the 5th. First, we're going to expand them by 3. Write down the negative 64 and expand the x to the 5th times x cubed times x squared. So by the law of exponent, if we're going to multiply x to the cube times x to the square, that is x to the 5th. So we just expand them. For what reason? If we're going to use the law of radicals number 2, we're going to expand them. Cube root of negative 64 times cube root of x to the cube times cube root of x squared. Then we're going to simplify each expressions. Since the cube root of negative 64 is negative 4, applying the law of radicals number 1, if the index and the exponent are the same, the radicals itself is the answer. So our answer here is x. That's the reason why we expand them. So negative x times x. Since cube root x squared cannot be simplified anymore, we're just going to write it down. And that will be our answer. Negative 4x times cube root of x squared. And for our last example, it's a fourth root of 32m cubed over n fourth. Applying the law of radical number 3, we will distribute the index to each of them. So we just 32m cubed over 4 to the root over n to the 4th power. Then we're going to simplify each of them. Let's start with the numerator. We can expand them. Since 32 is not a perfect fourth, we're going to think of a perfect fourth of a factor or factor 32, which is a perfect fourth. In this case, it's 16 times 2. Write down the m to the cube. Then we're going to expand them, applying the law of radical number 2. And that's the fourth root of 16 times the fourth root of 2 times the fourth root of m cubed. We'll just write down the fourth root of n to the fourth. And finally, the fourth root of 16 is 2. And since the fourth root of 2 and the fourth root of m to the cube cannot be simplified anymore, and because they have the same index, by the law of exponent number 2, where we can just combine the two radicals with the same index. And we're gonna combine them. 2m3. And for the fourth root of n to the power of 4, by the law of radicals number 1, we just cancel the index and the exponent and let the radical itself be the answer. So this is our answer. In last example, 2 times fourth root of 2m cubed over n.